He plans to question the entire science of vaccines. We know that vaccines work. We know that vaccines save lives. We know that our children
Let me just jump in on
them.
one thing, Sunny, because I understand what you're saying about Western medicine, but there are Eastern traditions that are thousands of years old.
I'm not against Eastern medicine, but I've been married to a Western medicine doctor for 26 years, and I trust him.
There have been a lot of concerns over the incoming administration's nomination of the outspoken vaccine skeptic, RFK Jr.
I got to be careful how I cover this clip, because if you go back to my catalog, you will see the kind of videos I used to make. If you go back to like the beginning, and well, you know. If you know, you know. You know? Okay. But this is going to be Sunny Hostins and the girls, you know, sticking their nose into things they don't understand. Of course, chaos always erupts with these women because they don't know what to do. They have to be more right-wing now, but they don't like it, this, that, and the third. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. By the way, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you so much to everybody who watches. Please don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. I'm thinking about doing a Christmas live or something. I don't know. We'll see. I don't see why not, right? Okay, all right. Anyway, let's get into it.
He's supposed to be running the Health and Human Services, and it was addressed during a press conference yesterday. Take a look.
What about the polio vaccine?
Well, I'm a big believer in it, and I think everything should be looked at, but I'm a big believer in the polio vaccine.
Do you want RFK Jr. to revoke any vaccines?
No, I want him to come back with a report as to what he thinks. We're going to find out a lot. I think you're going to find that Bobby he's a very rational guy. I found him to be very rational. No, nothing, you're not going to lose the polio vaccine. That's not going to happen.
So, RFK Jr. also said yesterday that he, too, is all for the polio vaccine as he tries to sell his MAHA movement, the Make America Healthy Again. And it's been gaining ground with folks. But let me remind everyone that long before him, MAHA was already Michelle Makes America Healthy.
No, long before him, Michelle went and destroyed food in kids' cafeterias. They told me that the food was so nasty that they ended up going out to buy food. It basically defeated the purpose. They said the bread tastes like cardboard, so they went out and bought subs and pizza and things like that. Absolutely defeated the purpose. So everything doesn't have to come back to a black woman. Like, calm down. Calm down.
Okay, that's what she was doing when she was first lady. So it's not an unknown concept.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
So,
but now he's out there saying this. But do you actually believe anything he says? Tell the truth. I mean, they overturned Roe v. Wade. He said he wasn't going to put anybody in who back to Project 2025. A lot of people that he's put into this new administration believe that stuff. He said that grocery prices would magically come down. He already admitted that they can't very easily come down. Yeah. Remember when during COVID, he said, no masks, you don't need masks. That was also BS.
No, Fauci came back and said we really didn't need the masks. Okay, you are talking to a nurse. I can't stand what these people do. I have to be careful how I, cover this clip, guys, because this is like, man, when I tell you, it gets to me. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, and shout out to y'all for being here, I am a registered nurse, bro. Like, you're not getting much out on, you know what I mean? Like, you're not getting one over me. Joy Behar knows nothing that she speaks of, okay? Oh, my gosh, this rhetoric. Roe v. Wade was not overturned. You have more power now to vote in your state exactly how you want to do all the abortions you want to do. Okay?
Attacked Dr. Fauci, who was really trying to help everybody.
No, he wasn't. Yo, come on. All right, you know what? It's not going to work for me. Okay, you know what? Okay, all right, I'm going to do it for y'all. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. He pushed deworming medication for horses on us.
You know what? Let me skip to the actual, you know what I mean? Like the fight. Because the thing is, they can say these things and they won't get in trouble. I almost lost this channel because of that so-called deworming. So, guys, just for the sake of me not losing the channel, I'm skipping ahead. I'm sorry.
in America. And what they point to, and we've all said this,
we know
those of us who've gotten to travel, you go to Europe, you eat the same food, it doesn't have the same additives, preservatives, oils, sugars that we have here. We have a system where people are just creating food and selling it to us and marketing to us that's so bad for our bodies. If he could narrowly focus on trying to have access to healthier, better quality food, which is part of preventative care.
Can I interrupt you? If you have the healthiest food and you haven't gotten the polio vaccine,
Well, no,
you will still get it. Well, these are two thoughts that I can hold in my head at the same time.
Exactly, because
but he's also proposing various
and he should
pullbacks
leave
on
vaccines
vaccines
to medical doctors and scientists. Absolutely. But if he wants to narrowly have a focus on food in this country, it's an issue that resonates and it spans political lines.
I'm gonna have to open up my Rumble again, because if they're really gonna do this year, like this coming 4 years, I'm not gonna be able to keep my mouth shut, and I can't talk the way I want to on YouTube, because these people are gonna destroy the conversation around a real conversation around immunity. Okay. Joy Behar stops and says that, oh, you could have healthy foods, but if you don't take the polio thing. I didn't take the polio thing. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, what is she saying? And they never said they're getting rid of the polio thing. Hoy.
And on that, and because one of the things that will help that is when you deregulate things.
Yes.
That's what gets stuff put in food.
Yeah.
That's what gets stuff poured in the water.
That's right.
You must.
They're doing it now with the regulations. People love regulations, and they don't do anything for them.
And you are absolutely right, Alyssa, when you say, narrow it down. Let's find out, because it is because of deregulation they can put Manzasiki, Makasaka, Sake, what's later
things you can't read in the labels.
your food. And if you can't read it, you should not be eating it.
Yes. Well, this issue and what you're touching on actually supports. We were talking yesterday at the table about how the two parties are not recognizable. Right now, the idea of Republicans becoming the ones that go after food lobbyists and big pharma just doesn't make sense. And when you think of wellness and health, you typically think of crunchy liberals. Like, that's the thing. I think they're on to something, because this editor said something that captures it up. It was a New York magazine. They were writing about this exact issue. And he said, only a movement so heretical and cross-pollinated and possibly dangerous could summon the political muscle to heal what truly ails America. And I agree with Alyssa on putting the vaccines on one side. The food part is really bad. The food industry needs to be completely overhauled. Right now, U.S. medical schools, and you know how long doctors go to school, they require less than 20 hours of nutritional education. Food should be the basis and foundational level of all medicine, and some cultures do that.
It doesn't have to be RFK Jr. Who does it?
No one's saying that part. We're just saying why it appeals to people. Like, what's
I wish that old lady would be quiet. Like, she cannot. Like, she makes me so. Like, who's gonna do it? Who do you have to do it? Like, girl, what are you so afraid of? Jeez, I'm sorry. Like, it's just lame.
I understand that food is important, but I think in terms of medical school, I mean, I think we want our doctors to understand the systems of our bodies, and I think we want our doctors to understand the history of medicine and a lot more. And what's really interesting is that, RFK Jr. doesn't have a medical degree. He knows not much about medicine. And what scares me, to your point, Joy, when people tell me what they're saying the first time, I believe them, like Dr. Maya Angelou told me to. And this guy, RFK Jr., has made it very clear that he is a vaccine skeptic. And what we have to remember is it's not going to be a narrow position. If you are the head of the Department of Health and Human Services, that's a very big, broad position, not a narrow position. They're not going to just put him in charge of food. They're going to put him in charge of everything. And what he just refused to answer in terms of some questions for CNN is he refused to answer about whether he stands by his previous comments tying vaccines to autism. That's all you need to know about him. He refused to answer the questions. And the other thing he said was he plans to question the entire science of vaccines. We know that vaccines work. We know that vaccines save lives. We know that our children
Let me just jump in on one thing, Sunny, because I understand what you're saying about Western medicine, but there are Eastern traditions that are thousands of years old. I have a Chinese Western-trained doctor who has pointed out where the Western medicine gets it wrong. We live in a country where we are crap is put in our food that makes us sick, and then pharmaceuticals come in and throw pills at it. So we're living in a cycle where it feeds the corporate greed to keep us not well.
I'm not against Eastern medicine, but I've been married to a Western medicine doctor for 26 years, and I trust him over anybody else telling me that what's making people have certain ailments, or if I need a knee replacement, I should just put maybe some kind of like herbal patch on it.
No, but even so, with the RFK, like he's gonna come up against the state-of-the-art best doctors in America.
Yeah.
Many of them are careers at HHS. That's somewhere that Dr. Fauci served for many years.
Has a real medical
he's
degree.
Gonna get pushed back on this. This idea that he's gonna come in with.
Okay, so Sunny, obviously she pushed back on a white woman. And I'm not being mean when I tell you that I don't know her name. It's not, me. I have nothing against white people, so you already know. But I don't understand her purpose. But shout out to her. She had a voice today. She said some good things. Okay, good for her. We know how these girls get on the panel. And by the way, guys, you're going to be seeing a lot more of these females because, I'm sorry, covering them is good. And plus, they bring up certain topics that I can at least talk about. We go from there. I do have another channel if you want to see more like in-depth political coverage. That is Bring the Asteroid News. So you can always go there too. But in the meantime, Sunny, I want Sunny to tell me about the humoral cells in her body. And I want her to tell me about the inflammatory process. She can't, okay? I want her husband to tell me about it too and tell me how it doesn't cause, how there's no way that the inflammatory process can cause encephalitis. Then I want him to tell me how encephalitis does not cause a presence of a brain damage that makes it hard to talk, obviously talk is communicate, to learn, and to regress, okay? I want him to tell me that the brain swelling does not cause these issues. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there for the sake of the channel. I'm going to leave it there for the sake of everything because I just cannot deal with people who... So RFK can't talk about it. You can make a statement because it's the cool thing to say, right? And nobody can question anything. On this channel, the inconvenient truth is what we rely on. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.